Good morning, students. We are dealing with the separation of powers. The Constitution states that this power is shared by different organs of government. It's clearly written in the Constitution. If now those words are not written in the Constitution, then one organ of the government will become more powerful. So the Constitution clearly defines the organs, their duties and functions. That is known as separation of powers. When you go to the next class, next year, you will study about in detail. This year we just touched them. So there is separation of powers. Can you see? There are three organs of government. The idea of division of power between different organs of government was given by a French philosopher named Montesquieu. So when American Constitution was written, they have divided the power between three organs of government. Those three organs of the government are the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary. So we every time call government. So government has got three organs, but most of the visible organ of the government is known as executive. Visible means we can see everywhere present. That is executive. There are equally powerful two organs are there. They are known as legislature and judiciary. The legislature refers to our elected representatives, the parliament or the assembly. The legislature means the parliament, the law-making body of the country. We call it a censor. So the parliament. When it comes to the state, state government, then there is assembly, Vidhan Sabha. So like that is and Vidhan Sabha is the agency, is the organ of the government in the state which makes rules and regulations for the people. That we have seen separation of powers between union list, state list, concurrent list we are seeing. So those, as per those lists, the laws are made by the legislature. So that is known as the legislature, the law-making organ of the government. And now the law that is made by this parliament will be implemented by the executive, and if there is a drawback or a mistake in the law that is made by the legislature, the judiciary will say it is wrong. If judiciary says it is wrong, it is the duty of the parliament to change it. So there is a check on the activities of parliament by the judiciary. Okay. Now we see the executive. Executive is smaller group of people. It's a small size in size. As per the Constitution of India, 15% of the total members of the lower house can be the executive. 15%. So if 545 members are there in Indian Parliament, 43 are elected, 2 are nominated. So out of 543, so 15%, around 70-80% members can become the ministers in central government. Okay. 55, 75 to around 80% can become the ministers in central government. Okay, that is, the executive is a small group of people. They are responsible for implementing laws and running the government. In India, the Prime Minister is the head of the executive. So, the Prime Minister heads the executive. He directs the executive. And there are two kinds of executive. Elected executive means elected MPs, the persons who are elected by the people. And in India, all the members of the executive are the members of the legislature. Also, they are members of the parliament, either of Rajya Sabha or of Lok Sabha. But in the American system, where presidential form of government is existing, there the president is executive. In India, the prime minister and the cabinet is executive. That difference is there. So that is executive, the organization or the organ which implements the decisions of the legislature as well as the orders of the judiciary. If judiciary orders something to do something, it is a responsibility of executive to do that. Otherwise, it is violating the Constitution. The executive is not ready to accept the Constitution. That is the meaning of it. So, as the executive, the Prime Minister has the executive is called the cabinet. In India, its cabinet is called headed by the Prime Minister cabinet. Ministers are there. All the ministers are called the members of the executive. Then there are permanent executives, means officers, that we will discuss later. Okay, so that is the executive. Now the judiciary. Judiciary refers to a system of courts in this country. We have got the court in taluk level, district level, then high courts in the state, then we have got the Supreme Court in Delhi, who is the Chief Justice of India heads it. Okay, so that is it is headed by the Chief Justice of India. Now we must understand the members of the judges are appointed by the executive. But in India, there is a little system different. In India, the judges have got the power to nominate the judges. There is a collegium. Senior most judges sit together and select the persons who should be appointed as judges into different high courts and Supreme Court, and those lists will be approved and accepted by the executive. In most of the countries in the world, the executive itself select the judges and appoints. In India, the appointing authority is taken over by the judges itself. It is in their hand. Means they select and the appointment is done by the executive, but selection of the judges are done by the judges themselves in India. Okay, so the election of the judge. So the judges are appointed by the executive. Each organ acts as a check on the other organs of government, and this ensures the balance of power between all the three. How they check each other? As I told you, a law passed by the parliament will be checked by the judiciary. And if the judiciary does something wrong, the parliament has got the power to remove the judges. It is known as impeachment. So they check it. Clear? Judiciary and legislature. Now, executive and judiciary. Executive appoints the judges. So there is a control on judges by the executive in appointing. Then how executive is controlled by judiciary? Any action of commission and omission means when ministers are doing something, if they do wrong and if they don't do also, both ways the executive can be questioned and controlled by the judiciary. So how they check it? Judiciary and executive. Now, parliament and executive. Parliament controls the executive. Means the cabinet will remain in power if majority members in the Lok Sabha agree with it. If majority do not support the cabinet has to resign. So that way, legislature checks the executive. And executive checks the legislature because all the members of the executive are the members of the legislature. And all the members of the executive are the leaders of the legislature. So naturally, there will be a check on legislature by the executive. So there is a checks and balances each other, all the three organs. So nobody can act independently. Nobody can behave as they like. They are each other controlling. Because otherwise one will become superpower. See, once the appointment of judges are over, executive has no control on the judges. The control moves to legislature. That is where it is. So appointing judges. Checks and balances are done. That is there in the constitution. That is the greatness of the Indian constitution. It is there in most of the constitutions. Now, you might be hearing the word state. We have a state government, Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, like that. But the word state in civics or political science doesn't mean the provincial governments. It has got another meaning. Means it includes all the things of a nation. So people are included in that. When a government comes, people are not included. So a state comes, the word state, when you use it, India is a state, Nepal is a state, USA is a state, Britain is a state. So when we use all these words as state, it includes the people who are living in a defined territory. We have got a defined territory of India. The people are living in a defined territory and we have a systematically organized government and which has got 3 organs. So that's a state. And it is not compulsory that the state should have written constitution or not. It is not compulsory. But the people should live. Now Bhutan is a kingship, is there, but it is also state. So systematically organized governmental system where an area is there and the people are living there. That is known as the word state. So when we use state, don't misunderstand state government. This central government, India is called a state, not a government, not central government. Central government is not called a state, central government is called central government. The word state is used for complete India. Okay, complete India. It includes the people, includes the government, includes the judiciary, everything, land, everything includes, everything together we call India. The ruling party, opposition party, we are all together. That is the word state. India is a state. Nepal is a state. Sri Lanka is a state. United States of America is a state. Iran is a state. France is a state. South Africa is a state. So all those are called states. Means country. Symbol. For your understanding, you can call it a nation or a complex. But usually in political science, we use the word civics. The word state does not mean the state government. It refers to the whole system of nation. That is, people, territory, government, etc. I have already explained to you. We can thus speak of the Indian state, the Nepal state, etc. So the states. So the constitution is for the state, not for government. Because it is for the people. And there it will mention the shape of the territory and the shape of the government. So a constitution is written for the state of India. So that is a state. So when we see the word state, don't get misconceptions for state government. No. In political science, the word state means this is a country. You can say simple meaning is country, but there's no problem. That will be in vocabulary. Keep in mind. That's it. So India is called a state. Okay. So we should have a definite territory. There should be people should be living in that area. There should be governmental system. There is no limitation. How much size is not mentioned. Now Vatican is only 108 acres of land, but Vatican is also called a state. So that is a state. Keep in mind. Okay. Thank you very much. Government is responsible for administering and enforcing the laws. In the state, government has got this duty. Administering and enforcing law. It is a duty of the government. The government can change with the elections. Now the present government that exists in any state government, central government, after next election, the government, the people can say, the ruling party, we don't want the party, another party can come to power. So the government can change. So that is possible. So the government can change the elections in any system. Indian state has a democratic form of government. Means the government is elected by the people. There are countries with a dictatorship. China is not having a democratic form of government. It's also a state. China also is a state. But China is not a democratic state. That's it. The government or the executive is one part of the state. I explained to you already. The state refers to more than just the government and cannot be used in. So we cannot use it. Government and state. We can say government and state. We cannot say government or state. Okay. In the state there is a government, but in the government there is no state. Okay. That's it. Because the government comes inside the state. If there is a state, only government is there. So that is the term of the word state. Okay, thank you very much. Prepare for your exams. Write well for your exams. Okay, bye.